Three or four other firefighters were sitting at our station, and we were getting ready to leave, go home, and the call come out. They said a car in the field on fire. One of them got across on the radio and said, "Hey, we need a deputy out here. There's a girl out here that been burned, standing in the road naked."
According to investigators, 19-year-old Jessica Chambers was inside her car when someone lit it on fire, but somehow, though injured, she miraculously got out of it. It was Saturday night, December 6, 2014, and her car was parked just off a rural road in Cortland, Mississippi. Two men driving by saw the fire and called it in just after 8 p.m. Eddie Eidson, a volunteer firefighter at the time, was one of the first responders.
We pulled up, and I remember the heat coming off the truck. We started rendering medical aid for Jessica, and I remember looking down, and she was laid on her side, and they had this old army blanket covering. I mean, the only thing she had on was a pair of panties. Just seeing her laying on that ground, that piece of skin. Every time she breathed, go in and out her nose. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. The burn spots were red. Looked like, in some places, maybe looked like somebody had smeared charcoal on her. She wasn't complaining about pain or nothing. You know, she was shaking. Somebody asked her, was she cold or something? And I seemed like she nodded her head. You know, she wasn't real talkative. And then firefighter, Brandy Davis, was kind of back over toward her feet. And he said, "Well, hon, who done this to you?" She kind of just looked up, turned her head just a little bit, and plain as day, she said, "Eric did this." She didn't call no last name. You know, she said, "Eric did this." We was all kind of stunned. I thought whoever did this may still be out there. Seeing her the way she was, and then still alive, and I don't wish this on my worst enemy. The ambulance had pulled up, unloaded the stretcher, and they loaded her up on it, and that was the last I seen of her.
Jessica would live only about 6 hours after those first responders arrived. She had second and third degree burns over 93% of her body. Her mother, Lisa, was with her in her final moments.
I held her hand as she took her last breath and told her it was okay. She could go. To quit fighting, that Mom and Daddy were there. Of course, told her Daddy was a big old baby. He couldn't come in there. She knew that. There's nothing any worse than to tell your child they can go. You just have no idea the pain and guilt I feel for telling her she could go. But I know I couldn't have kept her here. There was no way.
The story of Jessica's horrific death went viral not just in Mississippi, but around the country. The question everyone was asking, who did this to Jessica and why? I'm your host, Beth Karras, and this is